we have the opportunity to have one of America's finest in military uniform serving today out at Fort Bliss, Texas. This young lady took the opportunity when I was thinking about who is it we could actually get to come and speak to you all from the military side of it. There are a lot of choices that were out there, but the greatest choice out of them all is Captain Nikki Kelly. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to some of you all and introduce to others none other than Captain Nikki Kelly.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure and an honor to be with all of you on tonight with the 8th Battalion on this evening. Everything is perfect. So, hand claps to the staff who put it all together, because I know that was a lot of hard work, you know, behind the scenes and everything. So, like I said, it looks awesome. To Colonel Hobbs, to Sergeant Majors, and distinguished guests, once again, I thank you all for having me here. And of course, to my husband, who is my support, who is also here right now. You know, like you go to church, if you go to church and somebody comes up and they say, or the pastor comes up, no pun intended, I promise. The pastor comes up and they say, I won't be before you long, and then they be before you about 45 minutes. I promise, I'll try not to do that today. But I do think what I come to you to speak about on tonight is definitely supposed to be spoken of, because Pastor Gerald definitely laid the foundation on today. I'll be speaking to you all about writing the vision and goal setting. So there's a scripture in the Bible from Habakkuk, and it reads, "And then God answered, write this, write what you see, write it in big block letters so that it can be read on the run. This vision message is a witness pointing to what is coming. It can hardly wait, and it does not lie. If it seems slow in coming, wait, it is on its way. It will come right on time." So last year was my first year making a vision board. My husband and I, we did one for ourselves and one as a family. And if anybody is not familiar with the vision board, I brought mine to show you. So basically what it is, it's your goals and your visions written down before you on a board that you can see every day. You can cut out clippings, you can put quotes on there, whatever it is to motivate you. So as I was making my vision board, and I was just telling everybody about it and about just writing your vision down, what I realized is that we as people, we have a vision, but we have no plan of action. And a dream without a plan is just a wish. So like I said, I had the urge to tell everyone and encourage everyone to do one. And just like a lot of people, you know, we make our New Year's resolutions or our New Year's declarations or whatever you want to call it. But my husband and I, each New Year's Eve, we like to bring in the New Year praying. And so as we finished praying, my husband said, you know what, I think this is going to be a year of faith. Or he said, I know this is going to be a year of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. So what does that mean? It's something that I really want, something that I really desire, but my circumstances at this point doesn't seem like that thing or that thing that I desire is going to come to pass. And so what happens is we have a lot of talented people in here, a lot of people that are gifted with so many things, but we're sitting on our gifts and our visions and our goals because we're either scared, or we have a lack of faith, or we don't know where to start, or we're stuck on past failures or past hiccups because the last time I tried it, it didn't work out like I wanted to or how I expected. Or maybe you've just been discouraged because you have people who tell you that, no, that's crazy, don't do that. Or you don't have that support system that you would like, or maybe your circumstances at the moment, maybe you have kids, maybe your grades aren't in line with what you feel like they should be, maybe you have to support your family, or maybe you work. Whatever those situations are, a lot of us are sitting on our talents and sitting on our goals and sitting on our visions and what we desire to do. And so basically we're holding our dreams and our visions in bondage out of fear. Now, I'm not saying that you should jump at every idea or jump at every first thought that you have. No, you shouldn't, because you should allow patience to have its perfect working so that you can be completed and lacking nothing. So how do I do this? So first I write down the goal. What is it that I want to do? And then I make a plan of how I want to accomplish that goal. And then I give myself a no later than time of how I want to accomplish things leading up to accomplishing that goal. And then I can conquer that goal. So what does that look like? I'll give you guys a background story for myself. So there's this thing called Rotc school that I really wanted to go. I really wanted to get that Rotc badge. I really wanted to be able to say that I did that. Or just because one, it looks really good for a female to have it. And two, it's just because I just wanted it, because I just wanted to do all things cool at that time. But so Rotc, to be Rotc, is to rappel out of a helicopter on a rope. And so there were some things that I had to accomplish in order to get this Rotc badge that I desired. And some of those things included being able to ruck 12 miles with a 35-pound rucksack on my back. I had to do this within 3 hours. Rucking means I had to be able to walk 12 miles in 3 hours with a 35-pound rucksack with 2 full water canteens on each side of me and holding my weapon. Now, in my mind, I'm 6'2", 300 pounds, but in real life, that's not the case, as you can see. So to have this much weight on my back and to add on 2 big water canteens and a weapon, that's not the easiest thing in the world, considering I already walk slow and considering I don't like to ruck. That was just the bottom line of it. But I also had to learn how to climb a rope. I've never had a need to climb a rope until then. And I had to successfully complete a obstacle course that had different obstacles. So I wanted to accomplish this. I wanted to get this badge, this tab. So I had to make a plan. So I had to practice ruck marching. So that means I had to go outside and walk around my neighborhood a few times with this rucksack on and time myself. I had to find a gym that had a rope and learn how to climb it. And then I had to find some place that had some obstacles so that I can at least try to practice, this obstacle course that I was going to have to do. So once my ROTC, college ROTC, sent me to Rotc school because I thought that I was ready. So I get there and I make it past the first half of the Rotc school pretty good. I make it so in the middle you have a 6-mile road march that you have to complete. I sprained my ankle, but I still got to stay in and finish the course. I passed all the tests. And on the last day is when you have to ruck that 12 miles for that ruck march. And like I said, you have to come in 3 hours. So I got my rucksack on, I'm walking, I'm praying, and I'm walking, and I'm praying, and I'm crying, and I'm walking, and I failed. I came in 3 hours and 3 minutes. Now that took everything in me to go back to Prairie View A&M University, where everybody was rooting me on and cheering for me and expecting for me to come back with that tab and to come back and not have it. So, there was some I was hurt. Internally, I was hurt. And when you've already failed at something and you got to come back and face people and they really don't know what to say to you because they don't know how to approach you about the situation, That's kind of how it felt. And so I get back, and I was determined to get this badge. So I came back home, and I saved my money because Army ROTC at Prairie View, they weren't going to send me back because they had to pay for that out of their pocket. So I had to save my money, and then I came home, and I had to practice once again, walking around the neighborhood with my rucksack on. This time I realized I walked too slow and I need to run, so I had to run the whole thing. But when I finally thought that I was ready and that I could go back and persevere, I got on the plane with I think it was like the ticket was like $300 something. I saved my money, I got on the plane, and I went back to Fort Campbell. And I told them I'm ready. So at this time, they didn't have anybody taking the course right now, so I had to do it all by myself. So I got out there, and I did the Rotc march, and I came in 2 hours and 59 minutes with 12 seconds to spare. And I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, God, that I can finally wear this tab right here, and I can say that I'm air assault qualified. And I don't tell you guys this to pump myself up or anything like that. I'm telling you this because I want you to know that sometimes you're going to have setbacks. Sometimes you're going to have adversity. Sometimes you're going to have things that stand in your way, but you have to speak to those mountains and tell them to move because they're not destined. They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be there to set you up. But you can persevere. You can press past that. Your vision, the vision of our faith has to be faithful. What does that mean? That means I have to be able to see myself doing those things. I might have the faith, but faith means the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. I have to be able to see myself doing those things that I desire and those things that I really want. So you have to be able to see yourself graduating. You have to be able to see yourself making better grades. You have to see yourself learning to play in that new position of that sport or playing that new instrument that you really want to try in the band. You have to be able to see yourself going to college if you desire to go to college. You have to be able to see yourself buying your first car if you desire to buy a car. You have to be able to see yourself to save that amount of money that you desire to save to get that thing that you might want to get. And I want you to know it's never too late to make or go after your goals. No matter what age you are, no matter what grade you're in, no matter if you surpassed ROTC, it's never too late. The choices you make today, like Pastor Gerald said, it can affect the rest of your lives. So some of you will go off and you will go on to graduate and graduate college. Some of you will begin working straight after high school. And some of you will decide to join the military, but you might have your family that just says, no, I don't want you to join the Army. I don't want you to go to war. But guess what? You can get killed on Ledbetter. You can get killed over here in South Oakcliff or coming out of school. You never know. But God's grace be with you if you do decide to raise your right hand and say, I do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. There might be men or women in here who might get pregnant or who will get pregnant before you graduate high school, and you had a desire to go to college. Don't allow that to stop you from reaching that goal. Take the baby with you. There's plenty of women, there's plenty of men who have their kids in the classroom with them. Don't allow it to stop you. I know that's a harsh reality, but the reality is there, and it will happen. If you have a support system, allow that support system back at home to take care of your child. And you got to think about the future. What can I provide for my child afterwards if I go and do this and leave them for a little while? And I know that, it looks good, and we see Jay-Z, we see Beyonce, we see Kanye, we see all these people in the limelight with all this money. But I do want you to remember that money can't buy you joy. Live a life with purpose. Don't just survive. So I said all this stuff And now you're like, well, how do I create this vision board? First, you need to be able to write those goals down before you can create it. And make a why statement. Why is it that I want to accomplish these goals? Why is this goal important to me? And you may have to answer that question for each goal that you have. Writing the vision and making it plain, it's more than just adding pictures and nice words to a board. It's making a plan to accomplish those goals, like I said before. If you have to put calendars on your board, or maybe your board just consists of calendars of when I want to have this done by and when I need to do this by in order to accomplish this. If we leave all that information and all of our goals in our heads, we won't have anything or anyone to hold us accountable. And lastly, hang it someplace where you can see it. Hang it someplace where you have to walk by it every day and be reminded of those things that you want to accomplish. And I'll leave you all with these words written by the Apostle Paul. And it says, "You've all been to the stadium and seen the athletes race. Everyone runs, one wins. Run to win. All good athletes train hard. They do it for a gold medal that tarnishes and fades. You are after one that's gold eternally. I don't know about you, but I'm running hard for the finish line. I'm giving it everything I've got. No sloppy living for me. I'm staying alert and in top condition. I am not going to get caught napping, telling everyone else all about it, and then missing out myself. Write the vision and make it plain." Thank you.